Citizens, not spectators.
Citizens, not subjects.
Citizens, not subjects.
Responsible citizens building communities of service and a nation of character.
Responsible citizens building your communities and our nation.
Americans have ever been a restless, questing, hopeful people.
Ghanaians have ever been a restless, questing, hopeful people.
I ask you to be citizens.
I ask you to be citizens.
Citizens, not spectators.
Citizens, not spectators.
Citizens, not subjects.
Citizens, not subjects.
Responsible citizens building communities of service and a nation of character.
Responsible citizens building your communities and our nation.
Americans have ever been a restless, questing, hopeful people.
Ghanaians have ever been a restless, questing, hopeful people.
Well, that was former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Let's think like this. The whole country go on to an election to elect a new leader. According to Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, no, President won by close to 1 million votes. And then, the only thing that President was able to do was to steal, plagiarize other presidents' speeches, deliver it boldly onto the people of the country, making them into believing say a personal speech. A kind of boldly, at the end of the day, no, it came out to say ukuwiya speeches no. The only thing nipa ochire speech in my president by and say to the entire nation and to the whole world to say, I'm sorry. If we are other national president speeches, any of them are presidents no be kan kire say sebe unim nyansa unimte unim bibia nti no the speech no. Emma president ni shaman for boss say public person there oba be protected. At the end of the day, no, he ended up saying public person ankasa kwan ayera. As our president, no, the photo some for a friend, the finance minister, and now me no can say we Ghana, eti America. Akwaji green card of America. It went to a level say oh my yes sebi ye chene koto fiase because the president no anything in a ball mine no car. Emma Obiane say the okopen krata okopen refuge ewa another country, and that person happens to be the president of your dear land, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, stealing other people's messages and delivering it to you. Nobody questioned him. 4 years after, he signed to about the man and say on signed to also Ghana for some more akwapa or bojuma intije. Mental freedom be able there. Mama Rebecca also want to say, this evening, yeah. Kofi Kranche, Rikus, Chairman, you're back on the game, right? The base, Charlie. All right. And he said, what's any pan or two about the man now? Or could we are for speeches? About your DNA now we face any panel. I was basically nothing. Because Ghanaians are the kind of people that we don't even ask our leaders very, very basic questions, right? And they might be said basic questions. Very, very simple questions. 2 different presidents, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, Edenia ono frene agenda 111 by say Oba besi 111 hospitals in the country. Listen to him.
Hospitals across the country. So far, 88 out of the 101 sites have been identified, including this one at Trene, the site for the construction of the Echuma Kwawoma District Hospital. Work on the other 87 sites also commenced today. The acquisition of the remaining 13 sites will be completed shortly for work to begin. Each hospital is being constructed at a cost of $16.88 million United States dollars. That is 12.8 million United States dollars for construction and 4 million United States dollars for medical equipment. All the hospitals are to be completed in 18 months. Work will commence on the regional and other hospitals in the latter part of the year.
All right, F. Kadri, Charlie Mihuyo. Now the Danko for the catch the Ghana for over the 18 months, NABC 111 hospitals in the country. I did not put guns on the head of the president to say things that he wanted to tell the whole nation. But President refused or no, you bit me no. So Uti and another Danko for to mention the cost of each Agenda 111 project or Kayen or Ka building the Kwes will be seen near my acquisition of Nema Sika or the Bishop and the president no Ekaye. And then Yenya President John Dramani Mama also about Besini I found a 24-hour economic market. The young Mr. President and Mr. President 24-hour market and dear potting any womb.
24-hour market. Eja you see Ghana mentioning na ascend north there the asobebo from boa kosa edwa mu million eduasa menchire mo enyoma ewo sa mudwa ya ye besi edwa no ewo police station wo mu edwa bia ewo fire service se ne be ya se edwa etomo a fire service wo ho ombe dum saja no edwa bia ewo lockable shops say shops are what do you anajo ana open now person ko outimi to shop no mo no aloke wade mudwa no cold store edwa no restaurant your bank ewom your daycare center yamishira yenyina. Thank you very much.
Tinyankopon enshira yenyina. Two different presidents at two different locations, two different timelines. We see 111 hospitals. We also see 24-hour marketing across the entire nation. And then we want the cost breakdown. Then at the end of the day, I will ask you a question. Say these two leaders, why now what we need an feasible? Cost-wise, why now feasible need a boa? The Pachomen Cancer Hospital and yet because hospital focuses on the healthcare and then market is on the economy. These are two different things, right? And we also are messing with another project to be a John Dramani Mama's administration. Akofa diaba. What is a President John Dramani Mama the train biaba NP before air trade president no. What is a train wasemda? Ni na me ba be kira where and how the train go to Ghana. Watch this video. Just one who trains so and it's a once more Charlie and you will do some name them train among folks to say train 50 years and a president of course said train I tell me I bodo ediaba and the NP before S3 president about cover train that down ediaba ni baby say train where the buy a DNA the baby and is it worth the purpose sometimes the among woman what we need adwin over we be say be agro be need but you need brain you need sense to start to speak. Take come like neka. Yale you have a there. Aha, so one for why be now causing tema. Ne many people how we say them who say, "Hey, ade ye koso, and then koso ye we ye dey and I say dey Priscilla Cook, more kwaba." All right. So let's do this kind of things. Maybe shall see from the 24-hour market. What the young compare the two, right? But there are two screens. So yeah, baby, comparison. the two projects, that is how I want us to do these kind of things. So the main issues, the main issue, agenda 111, now if they have 24-hour market, and so that is how we're going to approach it. The main purpose of the agenda 111 is to improve access to healthcare across the entire regions of Ghana, right? And about 24-hour marketing, so to boost local trade, night economy, jobs, agro and e-commerce and trade. I'm putting it in that right senses. Because Nanado Demko Kufuor is one who say, and that's one who say healthcare in the society, a new sort of case. Now, in sense of between what says in the Kakrakano, also started 111 straight away. Fine. And Yaman Amkai, a former president, Nanado Demko Kufuor Nakai. President John Dramani Mama so say, NDC Abayan who so pursue creating Numa, or pursue boost to economy into also by BC districts at the same markets across all the entire districts in the country. I want to do the 24-hour market. That is how it has to go. Akufo-Addo NAC is ASOBC agenda 111. And President John Dramani Mama NDC are targeted 24-hour market. If I should follow the argument here, because I'm building a case. And Nanado Demko Kufuor share Ghana for say obesi 101 district hospitals, 6 regional hospitals, and 2 psychiatric hospitals, plus other health upgrades. Or say baby I'm level 1 form so or be pejam. Sana Nanado Demko Kufuor the country Ghana for. And President John Dramani Mama so obesi 261 modern markets across all districts. But these are huge projects which are and yeah, go to the kind of president. Hey. Anyway, then so the main beneficiaries, Oba agenda 111. So we wouldn't say yaresa. Into Ibenya doctor for her, Ibenya nurse for her. So you have to do so say beko. And then the 24-hour market for traders, for farmers, transport operators, food sellers, small business and then the youth. I make sure what idea. Almost idea we are to say. Me share that build there. Didn't say. Okay, idea we are. Wow, we the clear differences between NDC and NPP. Idea we have two policies which are very very clear. But say one fee we need ya. Say be But the main can quite imagine that idea. Over economic logical, health access na plus health sector na. Ibenya employment nti doctors benya adwuma nurses and so people will benya adwuma and then over 24-hour market na ebema direct commerce agric market be boost banking security storage because the President John Dramani Mahama chere niema ebewo 24-hour marketing. But remember 24-hour marketing is just the name and yes amount for ya nam say aban it over running 24 hours there be a name I mean kind of say. But my main criticisms are amount for to say NPP time no. A summer NDC for a kai. At the tone and no so. A slow completion. Cost no na yen tiase. And not be bring to her or mentimi. Basically, my main case and another them could for no mamukano. Agenda 111 there was not a single one. I would me because now the Nankasa be handed over to President John Dramani Mahama. Ujina Parliament catch say acquisition of land kwa no nyabi enyamanam kai na na do ndakwa kufaru ne kai and then 24-hour market den so na man for se cost no sheda mun na ho biemu za man for se security in the country no sheda nye clear and I say e be sustainable around 24 hours and so nipa bibire say omo sheda entiase papa that is these are I have to be fair because nye say bia and some people how can you have to be fair. It's in another no being pony said there shouldn't be any district in the country, any hospital. And John Dramani Mahama said no farmer or trader should lose money because there is no modern market access. These are two different things, right? But winning BB, so what take it idea we are made to here, the core comparison we are very, very careful here. Who say NDC AF4 more browa 4. 24 farmers, local people. That is what is showing here. NPP and who say no targeted high-end professionals. That is how you see the two different political parties. Because one is purely capitalist and then one is socialist. Into one who say the NDC then is geared towards the socialist agenda. NPP, one who be a echo. They be my men found call, I mean, the cost in the building. If we are answer my child, a dear wadi we say. Yeah, I say, why not it make sense? So he say, to your was it. And down the cost, no. So we'll win him. And now do them go for do. I mean, you can see now. Maybe this is going to help, right? I think this is going to help this way. I will try to push myself somewhere. Agenda 111 no. Now to say each district hospital be another cost of 191 million, little bit over that. But I underline the way here, Ghana cedis are something American 191 become a converted to the current dollar rate because the UTI and another Danko Kufado was quoting dollars. I mean, I more that particular message in beam. Let's see another Danko Kufado very, very, very well.
Hospitals across the country. So far, 88 out of the 101 sites have been identified, including this one at Trent, the site for the construction of the Kwawoma District Hospital. Work on the other 87 sites also commenced today. The acquisition of the remaining 13 sites will be completed shortly for work to begin. Each hospital is being constructed at a cost of $16.88 million United States dollars.
So what I say, so now the Danko Kufado by himself decided not to quote it in Ghana cedis, but in dollars. But the yamwanwaha. Into what we're going to do is say, Yamfama the current value of the dollar. Your quarter my dollar cost 17 Indian Kebeti screen by Yenisa. Let's put it down. In the agenda 111 no, it costs around 191.4 million Ghana cedis. And then 24-hour market so it's around 6 million. Or their cost kesekurano 12 million Ghana cedis per market. Over national wise, it's around let's say the first one and then the second one no, a unit cost, and then this is the second one is the national cost. If I chose I want to be you can also ask me in that 19 billion to maybe 21 billion. And now about President John Dramani Mama Dennis, which is the 24-hour market, and it's around 1.58 billion to maybe 3.2 billion Ghana cedis, right? Now, my dear best says 2026 budget allocation saying a cum. Because don't forget the president to say agenda 111 you know, buying it by around 10 or so. In the 2026 budget, you there around 100 million to complete 10 of them, right? And then in the 2026 budget, the president is around 110 million, and I question 24-hour marketing, right? When him say, oh, question be bizarre, you can ask me all these kind of things. So 2026 budget allocates around 100 million. You understand? And they are question, so I deal with him. So that is how I have decided to break all these kind of things down. Now, bisa who say. Wabananiso will see 111 hospitals at a go. When you can see, uja 111 hold this kanu kutu amana, so they could see a solid dying. I'm a young coupon. I didn't do 2 in a wentimianye. Let's take the cost in our body. Do you think say it made sense to say can now don't go for the better get it 10? Now we're pushy. And they're query ye. And I said, do you think say Nieman or ye no and no mum ye? Whilst President and I don't go for AC agenda 111, that was the time they designed something that they call delivery tracker to track government projects. Yeah, but they brought all those kind of things. But mind you, now they go for the Lucia bad, then they decided to delete the whole app. Ghana ni ben and Nameno can say, well, who delivery tracker be? Ayera. Say, yeah, yes, the deacon is saving the 2 hours and Caribbean Umubi. I have a whole on this particular channel. Me call the whole delivery tracker. And then I decided to pin holes into all this kind of 20 agenda 111 in but the link in the description of this particular video. We are aware. Well, so that was the deceptive nature of NPP. But mind you, President John Dramani Mahama doing the same style, about 265 hospital markets at a go, but already the cost breakdown of a dear president here, it makes sense, right? Because all the market today, we see na any we now located we are a ready for na wa cost or kill nema. But out here and now the damn go for the year. We see hospitals and the acquisition of the equipment, the machines, any president market you will see ayepe. That is the thing. The only problem I have with President John Dramani Mahama's recent approach is that each market biano, you better work clinics to President John Dramani Mahama so ye. I want us to be fair, right?
24-hour markets. You see, Ghana mentioning na. Asen north there, the asobebo from boa kosa edwaimu million eduasa menkyere mo enyoma ewo sa mudwai a ye besi edwa no ewo police station wo mu edwa bia ewo fire service se ne be ya se edwa etomu a fire service wo ho a ombe dum saja no edwa bia ewo lockable shops say shops are what do you anajo ana open now person ko outimi to shop no no lock wade mudwano wo cold store edwano ewo restaurant yawo bank ewom yawo daycare center yamishira yenyina. Thank you very much.
Well, so one who say president the end seven kind never be bro are limited enti e ade utimi escape efiri ho because ye ba be uba be sidwa na se edwa no ye koye daycare center wo ma e nkonwa kekere ne ma kakra bi e na ode be shem enti president no omonhu say when you engage in the capital intensive projects na on we be affected then the 24-hour market is a president itimi ye wi a district bia hu be na ni be hu ne de I see ho me that is why I have the problem. This is a president. If you end up when you constructing in a way that, then it means when another don't go for the more ya ko yini pa bako because we target project na a capital intensive massive projects. But the two projects we see where all those one is targeting at healthcare no, but at Senate President Kuku kind President John Dramani Mahama so see major hospitals in their country. And Tibisa almost say these two political parties in general, they can say why they will vision towards the citizenry, it's NDC. That is the fact. Because where the cost acquisition in this kind of things, not even the NDC, they no cost benefit a bit lower. I can't say hospitals but the kind of hospitals that now the Danko Kufa the design, once they didn't went to mention, and the Abane say, on one case, they didn't even have the idea what constitutes a hospital. And then mutisi afaria. They are saying so afari. Any we 98%. That be say dear machine and guma they couldn't provide any clear evidence to those kind of things, right? So these two projects now sanity. I mean, kind messages and say I could railway and so. Mental freedom with the delivery tracker was full of NDC projects. All the major projects in the tracker belong to the NDC. So after deducting NDC projects, the rest were all toilets. Hey, na mental freedom. Why are this? How delivery tracker? Toilet in Guam. No one must say toilet in so many things. Toilet and say another program I remember on this particular show. Because what happened? Why they couldn't complete even toilets? And they said they gave the toilet into contract or for contract. And the catcher will say, "One say President John Dramani Mahama the Mawa, or more contract by now. They amount sikanibi. Now the danko kufa the catcher them to month for more musicancy. It ended up saying, send those toilets no about the delivery tracker, then government of Ghana program. I should have a program which because I have a lot of documents concerning those kind of things. That's more like first aid, sick bay. You need that in any place for initial health care. Exactly. What I would say, President John Dramani Mahama's first administration, what he did is say, on the employees, let me say it like that, would deduct, I think, 10% from each person's money at the building, major chip compounds along Ghana, almost baby, and that is why we think, say, as a president, we need to still think about all these kind of things. citizens, we need to also check the mindset of people we give them political power. Because yes, on what I say. Many good evening, maybe I will there. So me that's why are this what you join me. If I chose oh you subscribe biano, ubeti me I subscribe na afide yakoye name from her. Ubeti me like share, so I'll be very, very happy with that. So that is agenda 111 and 24-hour market. Based on mathematics na my channel, you could see the 24-hour market it will potential to be completed than agenda 111 because the agenda 111 was not well thought of program. I'm not saying it's a healthcare and good. If they were able to target maybe 10, it would have been the best, right? Now let's go to the rail. What happened is part of NPP's position said this particular rail is an old one. Maybe checks let me say true. It was a British made somewhere in 1980s. So it did something like 42 years. But so where the real is you wanna your service Ghana aba. And many people do not see the real but let me just show you about the way I just saw who ya a Ghana rail freight. That is where NPP for Nancy Dantias, where in your passenger rail, we are a logistics. And I want to say, we have video near the T-net was two. And then each one be after the T-way two, it was 20 tracks a sort of. So let's assume say back could be about 10. What I say? So this is logistics. NPP for until this very basic concept as they normally they compare trainer and another they go cover by back when buy almost say a boss in infuse it is and they are comparing this one to that one. I mean two omofo NPP for some per se sebi obia onimde if I'm serious there is something you people need to do. When you basic research say adi we kurano train biana a logistics a bit me fat to say but could be to go for 20 I think it's 10 containers. My understanding and the research I did they say one biana to also 10 so maybe 10 it can if I double could be a bit make 20 containers. Say to me the containers in a bar it needs high power engines. That is why they go in for these ones. And to Bridge when as we speak most of the freight training and ASA it looks like old, but the engine is powerful because you need to pull a lot of goods. What I say? Oh, Emily, why are they? I salute you for that. Why are they? Now, dog not saying. When you Kevin Taylor there, do court in the video. Now, who Kevin Taylor video be also call America or call court first because of a dog. Oh, then they say you found baby. Okay, all right. When is me pen crema simple by me to me nikrama. Oh, Charlie, you're lazy. Don't mind me. And to share NPP ni, and now here's how my man me born video channel. Say President John the many mama coffee train biaba the educate training fan kwaya dancing because onima the property go free to nikura egu hunechere. Oh, sometimes oju grofo how want because the lack of education my people perishing ebino no. Of course, Joe Metiase, I say the real officials should be very more vigilant because we know the capabilities of Yanum. Of course. And there are some work and there's hard penalty. And he may say this particular train, meaning the only problem who Ghana problem Kakaya say. But sometimes I need to be honest. Some of these kind of contracts, more sole sourcing. But you need to tell the people to be a cost to say you could free high very straight. Now more the bar say be a minister and a win to me casa kwana. Ma Ghana railway for Emma explanation to the citizenry. It is a group we started jandam now. Now I bet him. Because he doesn't have to take some of us to go and do our own research, get some facts to come and present it on your behalf. Me tell them this idea and say. Because this is not a passenger train. Come and tell them that this is for freight. Simple. A woman say what go, but how many people in the country understands what freight actually means? And one good thing is a president, when he does so say, I mean can't say me, So Ghana, most of your logistics in the articulated tracks and a fadeco. So if we end up say you better make the rail, actually most of these kind of things are down south, Kumasi, Tamale, Techimamana, it's going to reduce the traffic on our roads. Nipa dodo na adwen che dan ko mo kai say ye ko election cheda ka say obetupu e de fira kra Kumasi. And that was the rationale. When cheda ka say me bu be ka say ana cheda also did probeko Kumasi there. Why couldn't you say the rail kwa na beko? Because that also serves the same purpose. Because Pono is going to be more difficult to get to Kumasi than even the rail. Until we Matisa say if it's a Makan something, is it Makanda or Makamba through the Accra Strait Tema way. I think that is one of the best things. Right? Explaining some of these kind of things to the people. The problem be and because Maya basic understanding no. Many people do not even know it. So what president that comfort train about you can say we are on a train with different but to run it down totally to say enya the papa we say no. We must seek education. I don't never wow. Because this is for free instead of way in your passenger train. Akayuri Akuka Ezekiel say good evening. Charlie, you have called there. Michelle pa why are there? That's say what me adjoining enye enumere programming. Sometimes we do it like this, right? Could you rise? You don't mind them. Info Analytics says majority of them are JSS graduates. They are illiterates. But once we need to take our time and then educate them. Meaning what I say. Because the people who are all cancer now when we are about say, oh, we're not being form and as we in same way, or tears are very, very simple. But come now on tears are and to just say auto wase. Now watch the nipa no. Isaac, also challenge what to say. Isaac Apochi, and if I got your name right, because I'm writing so I'm Pachayana or the Acheme. Many to say, my main kind of messages. These free trains are nicer than those we have here in the US. Exactly. Because the only thing is also more US one here the one with the high capacity because the logistics now apply on the roads are very, very strong. So if you don't get the train with a higher engine, the president have also akunye bi say Britain about say the amount for so money a train that and I don't want to they think it's a way for beautification. This is for logistics. It's some NP before. Some person more when about there. Mon lazy mo boot na mon can some about 20 pa now for now the I say mon sem na mo kan no e wo form kaka. I think the president have a lot of room to amend his ideology of the 24-hour market and focus on the current flood issues. Meaning, how can you say we should focus only on the flood issues in Accra and leave the whole entire nation? Rikus, I don't get the point, right? Because we are talking about developing the entire nation, not only developing Accra. And then Accra is, it's going to take a bit of time, Accra, before we get there. Why can't I mean, why was Ghana we have a problem? And the kind of problem we have in the country, Ibini say, so we are flooding here, a sea, a cry, a recus. Look at the waste. Mamika the ura. Oh, many Isaac Medase. So if I get this right in what I'm Medase. That's it. You know the kind of waste in the system. May I want us to approach the system in a very different way. Sometimes, one will say, Yankopon is so smart to say, or man waste be no watch out there waste ni bit me. God is so clever. And then I've been what I shouldn't put the sanitim. One who call you Roma in Ria, it will green leaves. A tigu forma, that same leaves and serves as a different purpose for Inuana if you corner. Right? Riku say what I say. It serves as a lot of purpose. Until Yankopon aye na dwen say ade bi e wo wiase bia e wo bibiye. But say why being na wo team no if you are not that smarter every time you might think there is something wrong with the system. Let me show you something. Over Finland they use waste for energy. Waste. It would have baller. My man can say or can some baller. No, it's what they use it for energy. I think many of the Western countries do this kind of things. When COVID came, countries like Finland, some they're able to detect say this particular area no. Nipa ni insuo no moshawana, there's COVID in that insuo no. How are they able to do that? It is technology, it is the ideas, the mindset. But Ghana ni yeya be to say adibia ni yakobo nyankopon sombo. I'm telling you, Denmark and Sweden import waste omo other countries to buy it. Ewura no efi na ye Ghana na e mini ye say na ma nsuo fa ye no. Denmark and Sweden omo koto kama other countries say ye pem wura no de ba be energy. Why can't we as a country do the same thing? Because these are common sense. What I say? And the problem we have in our society is say we don't have the people who want to think. The problem again is say we don't think. We leave everything to God. Then Nyankopon so wabere. Nyankopon wabere. Because yes, Nyankopon mo wadwen say okay, wo de nipa de sene wo be dua banche. Wo dua banche na wo de be wo fufu. Wo be dua banche wura na banche ni wura na den na wo de ye. That is the question. Ensu tay nyina tata na wura na mu na media for nyina and a waste and a president say we say who say media for the waste in the end none of them is giving solutions. Yeah, sometimes you know I've been wondering what kind of society are we building? We live in the same world. Somebody is using the same waste, to generate energy. Let me give you a typical example. Sometimes I want to give example. Maybe if Techiman in the Bono East region, mental freedom didn't improve fiso. Oko Techimana, there is a company called Ghana Nuts Company Limited, and the Free Zones Board. Now, baby, a Ghana Nuts, yes, company. If I want to picture me that to see one the waste in a free pipe on Mokoso. Yeah, I see that location. Maybe fear or that particular location here from Hansa. Ghana Nut waste now, omo bene, what Ghana Nut is omo bene cashew nut in Nasefono. And then they extract oil out of it. That waste in a econo. Se o na pake car, de bechina a draw car who in a chalo ko hoka yonko. Se we see nema draw abontia, ebese unima nyina. So what I did was I took my phone, took video of sa waste in a econo. Then I went to Finland, gave it to some people to ask them, we didn't a bit media. I was shocked. So they told me, that vapor or whatever it can generate light, electricity in that Techima Hansa area. That light, a bit more generate light. Then I didn't end there. The next time I went to Ghana, when Chi MP, if an legislator to her, he's my very good friend. So together with him, we went to Ghana North. Then I told the manager there, say, Charlie, I deal with him. Now it costs this kind of waste to us. Now my understanding is about him the generated light in this whole area. So can you get me an avenue? Say, be a mate me, Edinipa about to give it to show you that technology. And the manager was quiet. He looked at me, asked me, how did you know? Because Germany, Phobia Baba can the same thing actually. And I told him, well, I live just near here. Now, I did how much intimacy. Then you video, I don't know. Then I gave it to somebody in abroad, and the person told me this. And also, and Germany, Phobia made the same assessment, and I've told them that. So they are going to use that to generate electricity, and then they're also going to build solar to power their energy. As a good citizen, I didn't sleep. I had to do something for my dear city. Right? Bisa almost a Ghana na yeti wono ta ukuru na me kan wasem mpanyifo akugu da for mo wono mutu ade we ne yare pe ma manfo ya na how many people have actually taken their time to do this kind of things. Enti Ghana na ye kwabra na minister no abetena ho na ote ho koye ma ne land cruiser ote ho oni solution be towards the development of the nation. Ne dia na sia man land cruiser na fe na honorable na nora yi na obi ya namba omi ma hu se ba omi na matachem na me mi kuro ma mp matachem se kotaram di nachi na ba omi to ne nsa kakoba no brain, no idea, no brain, no nothing. Ba omi is reiterating the same thing and a declare state of emergency. State of emergency for what? For what? Why be the 8 years as the vice president? They not me here. You know, these kind of people in Yagmani, Yatinama, near the development of the nation, they have no clue, they have no direction, they have no foresight, they have no idea how to even develop the nation. Oti krom nsuo ato afa mo nyina wo de say declare state of emergency. Na nsuo afibia nsuo nto. Internet afibia nsuo to be declare state of emergency. This is childish thinking. Ask yourself, say, how are you going to solve it? And then let's solve it now. Why the 8 years? When you also will be declared state of emergency? For what? We are sick of Kakana, they be a Phoebe and Sunto. There's a Phoebe and Suta saying about me. I would have done Yankopon. Before we could have something. No more would cry. Dear Sempani, what the man was in Suato in Suna fire. Now also per president, Daddy, but can't some chirame. Na me fiaso trouble ma o declare state of emergency. Se akọ grow when is well. We visit Ghana net na grow na edi. Hwe. O de Ghana ye koyanim ye adwen akoyanim. Ye adwen akoyanim. We need to develop ways na choki sa na manya. Mr. President, let's find amicable solutions to it. I have a friend in Finland. You know, sometimes when you sit down and you say this kind of things, many people don't even understand it. We went to Ghana and another day ye call Ghana the bottle cause Ghana waste. E the babe test ye who ade the waste be ye. Yes obi say me. We went there the bottle is Ghana wura e be test ye. E hu how ye the wura ne be ye. Obi ka kire say Ghana ye mixi wura. When I hear those kind of things I make you want to say. Obi ka kire say oba brocha ye segregate wura no. Na Ghana ye ka bom tienti me fa nya we. Na me say why na ka kire o. You lack technology, you lack ideas. Consult people and ask them. What I say, consult people. We are not going to come home and now the young boom team the yard. People live in Ghana, they have no idea about how you're being. And that is the biggest challenge in Ghana. The brain is so small. Say you can't Ghana would boom into ye the banshee near the rubber and then hair. Why not catch it? The moment you are there. Ya sesa ball and be the above abuchiri abe test ama ye hu ade ye de beye na mamenka ko Ghana mpanyifo they don't want to tell us the truth was money akoso mbofo akoso very force never akoso contract thousands of years into light generation kwa ko person be ye that is why it's causing this and e wura no me mpe bibi mfanye insuo na yatini ni nyina yi se meme wo hobi ankakra greater Accra regional minister input technology na nsuo na yatine ball na eguminya no yemboa ni nyina no na yemfa nko ye bibi na yemfa nkyira manfo na dia asem kurani ma ebe na yatima je say every single thing je say ko bompa ye na me president John Dramani mama so ko ye national day ne am say president so we ade we bi nsuo afadi pa no yenko bompa ye na nsuo ni nye na ase de asem me president no de men kan ka say ye na dan ko akufara na ba o mi anka me wo ne pa ne ba John de penase mo chale ya kan ya ntum menya mai ba papa wa
Ghana mra e na ehun hwan
yo ya tell I idea. This is the perfect opportunity for the assemblies to wade in and clear all kiosks, containers, stores, and heaps of sand off the roadways and pedestrian access. No need for the apologetic talk. And sometimes, man, say, Ghana ni bibia ba, and I will be pachow, and he say, next year we're gonna sing the same song. In Suba say yira form, na fi yetia. Ma been to say NPP has no message for Ghanaians. That's exactly the same thing I'm saying here. Meaning why are there? Me anka ma ochia me. And anka wo so me say na ma 5 back what you say. All right. Mental freedom in Saudi here. We don't segregate our waste. We combine everything together in the garbage bag. Exactly. But oko Ghana, pay for back and a Ghana wura ye kani nyina bom and I'll come and ye am say ma bon. The mamunsu ya de. Mamunsu ya de. Unsu ya de. Na ultimate uni ma de waste ye timdi waste ye anka waka wan okra atom. Uni solution akase mini solution. De yenko ye nim. Sa na ade ye no. Where is the excuse as president has released emergency funds? Don't mind them. NPP for the summer to wanna do moto. My bin to say about me, I said it's great to we the people of Wale pa ufi Wale. Hey, na mumanya Wale Adam Smith and 124. My bin to Wale Adam Smith. A foot wouldn't hear foot. No brain, the brain is finished. You might also the other way. I'm on 5 years, sir. Hey. He stopped working since 8 years ago. AB Accra, Abba Accra. Oh, Charlie. Ghana dear, maybe Ghana when they have me. Emily said, but me, I don't have any idea. Not being asa. I want to do no more than not being asa, and another than Kufado pay. Also, maybe the camp watcher was a witty and another than Kufado. Every year, month for speeches, you know. Not about me as then and all, the whole Ghana Casa or Kofa about me a bayano. What if I didn't know it?
I ask you to be citizens.
I ask you to be citizens.
Citizens, not spectators.
Citizens, not spectators.
Citizens, not subjects.
Citizens, not subjects.
Responsible citizens building communities of service and a nation of character.
Responsible citizens, building your communities and our nation.
Americans have ever been a restless, questing, hopeful people.
Ghanaians have ever been a restless, questing, hopeful people.
We need to Ghana. In some way, you know, Ghana. John, in some way, you know, Ghana. We need education, pa. And so say, I call the on the last make I say kukurumutini na now do na kind was kukurumutini de man and one award de toaba. And the more be me candy of the kukurumutini be enchero. Na Ghana needs to be nipa nim di with himself away one more than no dinechi no kotoba mano. Ya laji ba umia on nam na man food dinechi John. Eh? I mean your net why are there? I say any civilized society be ana there any nyansa any buma no. Na oba Ghana na there ya kweye to say ye there no. Aguru bi na we ni so ete ho yedi ena da bia ye kan tam for kwa my be na etimi say woni bibi e ba my na etimi chale say anhwe ni ya my na ebedu ba bi agi buma emfa by na the good news ma menka good news nchira nsa na makọ the bad news say me good news ba ko na more bad news ba ko the good news they say National Health Insurance say all the victims of the flood in Inyano, you register Ubia National Health Insurance free. This is what I call strategic thinking. But in fact, you're more position as a 1 year, yana hame. Ato yerenchem kesi say ato mayano. And that is the perfect timer. Me who say some of the people in the country, yeah, can you need to be out on a service of my being judgment because almost say we this is one of the best things Abba. So the flood victims in Accra to receive free healthcare or national health insurance registration as health authorities warn of disease risk. In the end, Tanasema yare man be book come here. As in yakasi ni hwe ye wo ho. Nti mesero obom paye so abobi ma aban no and then I say for so this is one of the best things. Sometimes I want us to be doing this kind of things. Mr. President, maka health insurance ni beti me ko register ma for free entire nation and ya ntwe ma to yerentem ento ye nkwansa. You beti me register. It should be a policy. You will be access to healthcare free. And you can ask then how is the government going to develop this? There are so many ways of developing this kind of thing. Because when you give people free access to healthcare, you can also get something in return from the people. Right? I keep on saying we should have something we call the Ghanaian model. The Ghanaian model I preach always, and I say there should be something that other African nations will have to come to Ghana and learn from us. That is what I call the Ghanaian model. It is a free healthcare access. Free healthcare access. Free. We should think about these kind of things. Right? And then in return, people will have to pay taxes in return and get all these kind of things in return. And we need to also get it free. All those and another them the free SHS. I was in for it, but the approach of the buyer was something that I was against it. But we be catching us say Mama K and Enyajuma Obwa because we will be all cancer and the Mama K register no. Until progressively no President Airborne Homoding. These are some of the things I think say no be a new opportunity we should come and then praise the president on that. Mama K and Airborne Juma, Madam for be a medical doctor. Airborne Juma. And now me no kase obi all breast cancer be and the Mama K cover. Me will be all cancer and kasa. Mama K register no. And this will be trouble because the president Airborne Homoding Obwa Juma. Jefferson, there's no free healthcare anywhere. There are free healthcare somewhere. So do the research, Junior. Why? There's free healthcare somewhere. You can do the research. When I once told somebody, say, there are some countries that are more free transportation. The person doubted me until he went to do a research. Mr. Oko Luxembourg, there's free healthcare in Luxembourg, right? There's free public transport. Ujina Luxembourg City, offer train, tram, metro, the bus, nina a free. So there's free healthcare somewhere. Oko Estonia, the capital Tallinn, Ubioti Tallinn or Tallinn resident Biano, for public transport for free. These among others exist in the world. In Finland, you get free healthcare, right? Opa Finland, then your heart transplant, a free. What's sorry, yana uko? Ubia misawe. There's free healthcare somewhere in here. Sometimes when we are seeing baby developing because those countries they are very quiet. I live in Finland and I know there's free healthcare. My yara ko hospital. Me sorry yara me ko bia misawe. So me ka say me boa. And I saw somebody yeah come on if it's a pacemaker for free. The lady was crying, or Indian in our school. No, saying you're saying on the heart, a pacemaker. Then I heard the doctor telling her, so that Finland is free. So they all the answer about implant. They this pacemaker and I said, that's the end. Because not getting used to him say India where they to ya, but Finland is free. Right? So there's free healthcare somewhere in here. Emily, Mr. Obisa Land about Kobo or Ghana. Ministers, be our Land Cruiser. Member of Parliament, be our Land Cruiser. District Chief Executives, be our Land Cruiser. It means solve problems with the Roman Charlie. Oko come back say loan say fancy it ya. And then they made the good news now. The bad news, and they say your good news, your bad news. You see terrorists, bagana, Charlie. Some of us here also no more ba. No ma tifiri si John. No more bagana. Enti the papa soldier panyini, Chief of Defense Staff, I want Ghana for also on car say I do danger point there. But he is advocating say yen tray ni because I uncle for no or ma tifiri for so or so much more north and then they are pushing south. A very dangerous situation in the country. You move a car. A very dangerous situation. But for me, I have this. I decided to do this kind of simple. How I think say you better control the security situations in the country. We me and my designer my dear Mr. Chief of Defense Staff who I just haven't quite baby same. Me and my dear. So a safe, secure, and prosperous Ghana. And I'm that one. This is how I've decided to do it. Because I've told you before, so I've studied international relations, right? Yeah, and I did security. And that is how I've decided to go about it. The first point, and they say we need to strengthen our border security. For that one, they say Ghana borders are too loose. Ghana borders are very loose. Maseda Nante from across to Togo. Udu wa masa sika nkwani eje. Nobody checks anything there. Sika. Yeah, the soldier for aqua how the two say omo corruption kwa na mto omo ye. But test you omo. We will be on recording, but sometimes in Udi Ghana no unu be benyasem. What I say, so you are improving the border security now. And the problem be and intelligence. You can Ghana soldier for Ghana police for Ghana immigration for the minimum say bonipa. Intelligence level or form kakra. Intelligence level or form. And then there should be regional cooperation. Ghana no abrofo we so tactical say. Ghana ye ka abrofo no. Oko ye border to say Togo or can French, o kasa wonte, onzo kasa wonte. Oko asia Burkina Faso, o kasa wonte, onzo kasa wonte. Cote d'Ivoire, o kasa wonte, onzo kasa wonte. And that kind of security, no, almost she done admire that gap, no. And yes, as we speak, ya buying they should incorporate things. I wait my regional cooperation. Yes, I security wise in the matter Ghana yet time bomb so a boom. Boko Haram fun one day. Yeah, yes, I be. And then we also need to invest in the north. Charlie, Oko northern part of the country now. I wonder, say, while Adam Smith few hours, no one says more I aspire the command in for so many. We need to invest hugely in the north because they lack basic investment. Education wise, healthcare, jobs. Charlie, Oko north for the Ajumani ho. And I was surprised about me and your opportunity. I was in New York, but now, Sarah. Omo beye se kaya yi nti onu si hostel amom no medam no manye kaya yi. Oh, this is the lazy man's approach. We should invest. We need to do more investment there. Mr. Mogana aban. Baby ye kika kono ya we ya at time bomb so. Some of the 6 points they say we should prevent radicalization. Let me give you a very typical example. Somewhere 2019, 2020, Nami will be krum. Techiman, I need to be straight because what am I? There is one woman Sebe Nyankopon fa ne kra in CA. Maame no wa baba ya bi wa. The lady, I feel no we SHS. So she was like 19, 20 years. And I'm American James said, ne baba no. Edi ne ho abo some Islamic clergy bia. They seem to be radicalizing her into a ceremony ne bana enkasa because the approach na ne bana koso no. Ono ye maame, but on cheda ntese se wa wo ne ba. Now, Kalani seems to have some strong radicalization idea. And many girl and kasa. I'm saying, how? Because I was a woman. I knew the woman has about 8 or 9 kids. No, say I'm back up with one as I don't know. Hey, and they do a new phone, a friend phone. So no money kasa money say. Then I got access to the young girl. Charlie, send me one hour can a teacher. And now I know can say, girl, one of those clergy, no, I worry akwalano. While radicalizing it to the level, say, why a Ghana near or Tigano? Sebe, me pesa me dem anobeka, but me sure say akwala at a point in minim to say there. What the bomb man's on to obeto. I'm telling you, me ana meka, yes will be say. The mammy green a ban horse are now make us a mammy wooye. And yes will be say, me body this is will be on nim couldn't be any pacora maker. Mammy green a ban go on the level nana ne banecon or baba yao on tiasie. But anyway, we were able to deal with her kakra. But at the end of the day, no, one of those clergies, no, a warrior again, no, but minimum is on any day, so be our and we will be in a Maria, Maria, and also we need to strengthen military readiness. Ghana soldier for Senate American and some bono mobile. When I know I am competent to call no party, Moko and to call no moko. So you need all the intelligence now waiting. We'll look at two, and also send it to a good so. Nipa so odin sa woni okwa you say who be achena what me bubu nipa na nine. Why do you have to only shoot and kill? In the terrorist so ba me hu na no Ghana soldier for mo call country be kwa na to bomber. Hey, me hu ade me who say me be ye show. Soldier ni e na ko pattern to kwa no. Bomb blast ya no team urade Jesus Christ come and save us. Oh Jesus Christ. Me pa jo say mo hu sa video ni bi. Soldier ni a wo ko war front. Ko pattern to kwa bomb to ya of Jesus Christ.
Ghana mra e na ehun
Hey, asemo. So Jenny. Anyway, we also need to protect critical infrastructure. Wow. And then we need to counter online extremism. To send the American, we need to check all these kind of things. And then national unity, we need to do a lot of things. Ghana, we lack basic technology. Basic technology. There is no technology in any of our forests or our borders. I just say, sound the alarm. There is nothing in Ghana like that. Ghana. But to say no technology bar. Lebanon, why are they? Why are they? Bomb between us, Jesus Christ, Jesus, energy and Jesus. Hey, so you walk on war front. Anyway, Charlie, these are maybe I can my pen in down until me chief of say offer me nyansa ma me so say technology ni nya ni military adwene nya guti me nko army school da iso gina na me sura so bondi me nko bi da tu be che bomb so two a afi be ti mani so. Anyway, that is how I have decided to put it down, and I have a lot of information about this kind of things because when I was studying Masters in International Relations, and I got the opportunity to visit the northern part of Nigeria. That is how I wrote my master's thesis, one of my master's thesis on security and securitization. Until I understand how to approach all these kind of things, right? Mm-hmm. Priscilla Cook says it's not religion bias if we monitor the Muslim communities a lot more. This is a religion that allows murders in the name of Allah. Well, and some are against it, but it seems to say that is how it is. All your two dominant religion in our that kind of problem, no. But the only thing is that we need to be more nationalistic, and then as security-wise, we need to get more people to infiltrate them and give us information. They're not there. That is how I think that we need to do it. Jefferson said that might be a protocol recruitment. Charlie, soldier form call Lebanon in your Motiana a protocol. That be okay. Ghana soldier in no you want to look up just can equity. But soldier me ade ha me kwase so otisunwa baras anaso oti baras bi kuma se na bomb to no otia kamini problem. Soldier ni na agis Ghana sika so okopatan to call Lebanon. Bomb to ya no ofre nyankopon. Hey, yeah, sembe ni. Cause he put that say eben aseme. Oh, Charlie, northern part where they say maybe I'm feeling I have a lot of friends that if you northern part, and I also visit there. I think that the northern part of the country needs more development. And my dream, I'm a development thing in about south and you giant of north, which isn't the best. I would think like that. Ghana needs people who had an exposure to build the country. And also, Ricos, I do agree with you. That is something true because most of Nippon and development, it seems like they don't even understand Nema Ekosu Maino. Faustina, good evening. Bibi Abokode. That's it. If I want to subscribe, you know, be to me as subscriber. Hey, piano girl, Charlie, me tell you. Yeah, free transport for pensioners in England. Yeah, that's true. So there are a lot of things happening around the world. But when you're careful, people need to travel around the world, especially the leaders. We give them opportunity. The biggest problem, and I said my biggest disappointment in Abayan Abakoni is the people we appoint them as ambassadors and representatives in the different countries. I think they're Mudi Ghana, bro, because it seems that they are not ready for the task. Usman says, good evening, bro. I'm praying for the president and the victims we involved in this flooding. Oh, Yankopon for currency. Wow, from a hero Biana. And now what Japa de say Biana Mr. Yankopon and more Omobai. Bibisa, Ena, in a way. Abusianti and name the best you have on and Yamia Duma. Wachana, right? Messai Ababi, Medini William Munufie, Amakura platform A Munufie Politics. But also bit me a like a share some money. Beji pa send be ya you bit me ayenisa what you say. So we any questions so menko yen kwan so dey bit me ede aba na fi dey me no nyina discussable because I want us to build this particular platform to say yeti fee any yedi nkomo mpese be na to say sebe menko na minim nyansa we ase nyana na me that is how I treat this particular platform what I say. So we need to do things like that. If I also only mobile so about NMC exams app I would be if any next prep Ghana.online. The matter pass away exams in come. News getting in also be. Thousand I will be up so you build a website and any app at the manner but you will not contact me on +358-4653-7264. Now I want to bring my phone number here. This is my personal number. At any point or at any given time, they are not waiting for me concerning this kind of business activities. But let me stress on it. Any fee is paid, right? And I also said some other times that I have another channel called AI with William, where I teach people how to use AI. It's a YouTube platform, but just open so bit me. I visit some new platform here. Sometimes I keep on posting videos there as well. I think yesterday I did a live stream about about 5 businesses in Africa. If you see a bit more use AI, they assess them kakra. We need to incorporate technology in our day-to-day activities, right? That is how I want us to be doing things. Nti me da obi bia ase. Nyankopon ne obi a entena. If I just all question bia me nko e, obetimi e de aba. Na adwenya bom. Atese. All right. I say don't get idea ye pay atofo. I say don't get idea ye pay. Oh, I see. Because you don't say don't get ya. On pay the general ankasa. Oh, Charlie. William Gap, I will see you, right? Enti me chair obi answer me do obi ask mom to join the nyina. It's like good evening. William, Charlie, name no. Rico's Kennedy has got all because he's got the exposure as the Europe, China, Dubai, India, and then the US. Yeah, Kennedy too exposure or swag. What I say. The base. Kennedy and we can. All right, Rico's, I'll send the page. I think the AI with William. Let me just try to get it here on our line. I teach how to do things with AI. His goodness follows me around every bend. When my feet get tired, your love carries me. When the road gets longer, you're my melody. I'm dancing down heaven's road with a song in my soul. Got All right, so that is the link, and maybe at on AI with William. I get time when I teach how to do a lot of things with AI. John say, in fact, I learned a lot on this program. John, that's power there. 62, 940. The fact of the matter is, the core teachings of Islam is sometimes things that are more like religious and I think that we need to be very careful with this kind of things. What I say, because most of my friends are in Kramofor, but their understanding about this happening is something different. So sometimes I need to be extra careful with them. Right? All right. Enti medase, nyame adoma ochena 7 p.m. Ghana time. You gonna meet. Enjoy this particular music.
Lady Deborah.
It's your reference, say, I